Hello, and welcome to episode 12 of Mayhem,
Mish, Mash, Mayhem.
the podcast where we take the schoolyard conversation of which one of these fictional characters will win in a fight, and we talk about it on a podcast.
And not in a playground. And that's what this is.
What about if this was a playground?
Confirm that I'm not in a playground. But you might be.
I'm not. I can't even see a playground.
No, I can't. But I could if I walked 2 minutes down the road.
Fair enough. I might sound a bit worse than normal today, because I'm all full of the cold, and every now and again my voice keeps cracking and making me sound like a 12-year-old boy. So that's the thing.
Boy.
Oh, well, that's okay then.
I, on the other hand, have got a brand new Michael.
Brand new Michael.
Yes, I do.
It's all exciting.
It's a Audio Technica. I might get louder because I'm reading the brand off of it. ATR 2100 USB, and I disgusted myself just then because I said 2100. But in my defense, I did read the 21 and then the 2 zeros on the end.
Okay.
Oh, because we're English. It's 2100.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll be honest. I tend to say like 2100 or whatever. From years of playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, but you say like 4500.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Depends on context and what I'm doing.
Anyway, welcome to today's episode. Last week we had Hit Girl and Mecha Hitler in an incredibly excellent and controversial decision. It wasn't a decision, it just happened to happen. And it did happen. Good. Hit Girl made her way through. She's earned her Mish. The least important part of the Mish, the Mash, and the Mayhem. Because let's be honest, if someone was to say to you, would you rather have a little bit of Mish in your life, a little bit of Mash, or a little bit of Mayhem? And you're like, well, a little bit of Mayhem, that's kind of chaotic, it's kind of cool. And with a little bit of Mash, you can have bangers and mash, like for dinner a couple of times, or some pie and mash, or some other things. But a little bit of Mish, unless you know someone called Mish and you're really quite a fan of them, you don't really need a bit of Mish, do you?
Do you know anyone called Mish?
No.
I'm not sure if Mish is a name.
I mostly know Europeans, so I'm not saying that Mish is predominantly a non-European name, but if there is someone called, the thing is I don't know the name distribution across all racial and ethnic distributions. The name Mish might be quite a popular name among some places that I just don't know. You never know.
Fair enough.
But yeah, Hit Girls made it through. So today we're going to have a new competitor. We're going to start with going through both our competitors, going through their skill set, a little bit of background, their weapons, their armor, what they like doing on a Sunday morning, what they like doing on a Sunday evening, what they like doing on the Sunday afternoon, between the Sunday evening and the Sunday morning.
What you're getting at is what they like doing on a Sunday. Yeah,
but only the morning, the afternoon, and the evening, not the night.
Okay.
No one cares about Sunday night. Then we're gonna roll the patented. It's probably not patented. So don't take me up on that. Dive Death.
Dive Death. Yeah, maybe we should get it patented.
I don't think we should. I don't think that's how patents work. I think they're the new inventions. And I don't think.
I think I invented it.
Yeah, but it's not an invention to say, oh yeah, I've got this thing that already exists and I've just given it a different name because of this purpose.
I very much conceptualized it.
Yeah, but invented is not really.
All right.
Anyway,
fine.
We're gonna roll that.
Thanks for taking that away from me.
Well, I'm saying we wouldn't be able to legally patent it. Me, the patent people. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, gonna roll that. It's going to give us a place of wonder and joy that the combatants are going to fight in. And we'll discuss the details of that as and when it comes up. But for now, it's time to introduce our first character, our reigning champion for the episode, Old Hit Girl. But she's young.
Potentially. I know we should have done it a while ago, but because we haven't done it, first it might be worth introducing ourselves.
Oh yeah, shit. Well, let's pretend we did that.
Because, hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Matt.
Hit Girl is the superior alias of Mindy McCready, a young girl who was raised by her father the superhero known as Big Daddy, as a vigilante / assassin.
What's the difference between a vigilante and an assassin?
Vigilante stops crime using non-lawful methods. That is what a superhero traditionally is, whereas an assassin kills people. Vigilantes don't necessarily have to kill people, because famously Spider-Man and Batman refuse to kill people.
They do. But I mean, they definitely do. I mean, you've seen the videos.
What videos?
Spider-Man game came out, and there's like just videos of Spider-Man doesn't kill people, and it's just Spider-Man absolutely killing everyone.
No, nobody does.
Like, not on purpose. Just, they'll like tie people to cars, and then they get run over by buses, and they'll sling them off, and they'll fly into a building across them.
If you throw somebody off a building,
I mean, it's Spider-Man's fault.
There's a really cool function in the game, actually. If you throw somebody off a building, you'll see them webbed to the side of the building, so they're safe.
Yeah.
So, they don't die.
I mean, if I tied someone to a car, which is no different from webbing someone to a car, and then they got hit by a bus, I definitely killed that person.
I mean, arguably the bus killed that person, but it's fine. Just say, famously, they don't. It's fine.
It's just a funny thing that arrived from the video game.
But you couldn't be an assassin that doesn't kill people. That would make you bad at your job, and a liar.
Bad at your job, and a liar.
Yeah. Well, it would, wouldn't it?
It's worse when you're a superhero. Spider-Man doesn't have a job, though. He's at college or school.
No, he's a photographer.
Something. Spoilers.
No, he's a photographer.
It isn't spoilers. Is he a photographer, though?
Yes. Yeah, he is. Because he does photographs of Spider-Man for the Daily Bugle.
He does. So why is he at school?
Well, I guess he does the photography once he leaves school.
Okay. So he doesn't do that in the current
films. No.
Yes.
No, he doesn't.
Anyway, Hit Girl.
Hit Girl. Yeah, because of being trained from a very young age, Hit Girl is proficient in basically any weapon you can think of. She knows how to use it. Think of a weapon. Thought of one? Cool, she knows how to use it. So, yeah, she's just very highly trained. She is particularly proficient with sort of knives traditionally. She has like sort of switchblades on her most time. She is seen killing multiple enemies with a pole arm with bladed ends. That's very cool. So she's very sort of lethal up close. She's also just very proficient in martial arts and can just fight well. She is also very good with guns. She is an excellent marksman and is able to shoot stuff with great skill and precision. As part of her training, she has also practiced in using bulletproof vests and has been shot repetitively to get her used to being shot. And then also part of her fighting training is, she's lost a lot of fights and been beaten up a lot, but in a constructive way and not a domestic abuse way, at least arguably. I mean, potentially raising your small child to be a vigilante is some form of domestic abuse, but that is for a whole other discussion. But yeah, she's basically very badass and proficient in many weapons and martial arts. The slight downside to her is, despite being very fast and skilled and dexterous, she is just a child, and thus can potentially, if she was against a very skilled fighting adult, be overpowered by the fact that an adult is just stronger than a child. I don't mean to blow anyone's mind by dropping that fact, but adults tend to be stronger than children.
I wouldn't disagree with you.
So that is kind of her big weakness, is that she only has child strength. But that being said, due to her immense skill, the average adult she could still easily kill and defeat in combat. It's just, if she was against also very well trained adult, then she might struggle in a melee combat. But from far away, she could probably still just shoot them because of her absolute badassery.
Unless they shot her first.
Unless they shot her first, that is true. I mean, that's kind of all there is to say about her, really. I mean, I suppose actually there's also the fact that despite being a 12-year-old, she knows how to drive and has her own motorbike.
Hey, there are loads of kids who now drive early.
But yeah, because there's not necessarily a huge amount to say about her, I thought to continue the theme of last episode, I'd bring you a new, potentially way that she she was caught up in some controversy when the films came out.
Go for it.
I can't remember the guy's name, which is a shame. But one of the film critic-y people made a big point when the film came out about how it was really wrong because she was a very sexualized character, and they were like, well, you shouldn't do that because she's supposed to be 12. And he was sort of saying it's not right to sexualize children.
It damn right isn't.
But apparently the big sort of backlash from that was that basically every other film critic and all the people who made the film and stuff were like, what the fuck are you on about? She's not sexualized at all. And if you thought she was, then clearly you're a bit of a creepy pervert. And then he went very quiet on the issue, which I just think it was quite a funny thing that happened.
Wah, wah.
But then, that being said, in, I guess, his kind of defense, I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't think she is a sexualized character in the film. But there is a character in the film who's like, oh my god, she's amazing and I want to love her. And they're like, dude, she's 12. And he's like, fine, I'll wait until she's old enough so I can sleep with her then. So, I mean, there is kind of that joke in the film, but he's not necessarily saying that she is sexy, just that she's really badass and incredible and worth admiring. But then he does want to have sex with her.
It's a little bit awkward, isn't it?
Yeah, and I get that, and it was kind of just done as like a joke sort of thing. But that's the only thing you could potentially say in defense of the guy saying that she's sexualized. That there is that slight joke aspect in the film. But it is undeniable. I think she is a powerful, strong character that's worth admiring for her skill and awesomeness. And then finally, before you introduce your character, it is worth saying that I'm pretty sure on a Sunday morning she'll get up and make herself a cocoa with marshmallows in. And she wanted to know what they would do on a Sunday morning. Now I'm potentially concerned.
Sunday morning.
So who have you got to go against Hit Girl today?
What was my clue again?
Your clue was, we mentioned the franchise they are from in the last episode.
Yep,
and they judge people fairly. Judge everyone fairly, I think.
Yes. Yes, it was. So the series that we mentioned,
yeah,
that they are from is Red Dwarf.
No way.
Yes way. No one expects the Spanish Inquisition. He's not Spanish. He is the Inquisitor.
I don't remember the Inquisitor.
Don't remember the Inquisitor? What? You would judge him.
I mean, I vaguely. It was like a big guy with a cannon or something, right?
No, he was not.
Oh.
No. The Inquisitor is one of the simulants in the Red Dwarf universe, being kind of mechanized, weaponized, human-like androids / machines that were created for a war that never happened. And then after the war that never happened, they all got decommissioned, but some survived the decommissioning process, and those ones were mostly insane and want to kill all humans. This one, however, managed to function himself into a self-repairing state, which is kind of cool. And he survived until the end of time itself. And at the end of time itself, he concluded that there was no God, and or afterlife, or any purpose of existing other than to leave a worthwhile life. So, of course, he made a time gauntlet, and he goes around traveling through time, judging everyone in existence about whether they've led a worthy life. Well, how's a fair way to judge people?
Look at the good things they've done and the bad things they've done.
No, of course not. It's to be them. So when he judges people, he takes them into like a parallel judging place. Oh no, that bit isn't really explained. And he adapts. He dives straight into their psyche, takes on their full appearance, and essentially uses their own character to judge themselves in their trial. Therefore, meaning that everyone gets a fair trial because everyone is judged by their own inner thoughts and self-belief and all that jazz. Anyone who's deemed worthy, he allows to live. Happy days, not a problem. But anyone who he doesn't deem as live a worthy life, and this doesn't mean that they've been a bad person, because that's very different from living a worthwhile life. Most of his, what's the word? I can't think of a word. But essentially, it's if you've lived up to your potential and you've done things that you consider are good. Because it doesn't matter whether they are good or not, because you're judged by yourself. So it matters if you consider that you've done good things. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Anyone who isn't is judged unworthy, is erased from time, and using his time gauntlet, he brings back someone else who could have had that opportunity of life. For example, all the wee little spermies that didn't quite make it to be you, all the rest of that goop snakes, they get their chance at living. All the different thousands and millions of different yous that could have been you, if you weren't you, get to be you.
Wait, what?
Right, so all the different yous that aren't you, that could have been you, will be you if you get unyou'd.
Okay, yep. No, with you.
So, simulants, they're pretty robust. They were designed for a war. In the universe, in the Red Dwarf universe, there's a weapon called a bazookoid, which is pretty similar to a bazooka and an energy cannon. And simulants can survive several close-fire bazookoid volleys with little to no damage. It's pretty handy when you're. Well, it's pretty handy in general, isn't it? You can survive bazooka fire. I mean, it's not very often I get bazookoids fired at me, but if I did, I'd want to be able to survive it.
Especially if you're designed for war.
Exactly, which he was. But there never was a war.
No. Maybe if he unused a specific U, the replacement U will be a U that starts a war, meaning he'll have a war and his purpose will be fulfilled.
Yeah, but his purpose is his meaningful life. And his meaningful life is judging everyone else on whether they've had a meaningful life.
Okay.
I don't know. They don't explain that. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant to this. But anyway, as a simulant, as I said, he's got a fairly sturdy-ass body. He doesn't have any armor per se because he is a slightly metal being. But he does wear a pretty dapper, long, furry cloak and a lovely mask. He is equipped with, and only equipped with, his time gauntlet. The time gauntlet has the capability of freezing people in time. For the record, it does fire out a beam that catches the person. It's not just like, oh, you're behind me. It's, he like points a finger, aims, presses a button, comes out at a reasonable pace, surrounds them. But he can lock them in time and then replace them, erase them from all time and replace them with a new version of themselves. He also is, as I mentioned, self-repairing, and at one point, this doesn't mean that he can't die, because there's a very big difference between self-repairing and not dying. But he does get his arm chopped off, and it regrows in like seconds in front of the dwarf and Crichton, and they're like, "Oh God, that's not ideal." Except they don't say that because it's Red Dwarf. They probably go, "Oh Schmeg," except not with that accent. "Oh Schmeg, mate. Crichton, what are we gonna do?" I suggest we have some toast. That would be what Talkie says. Do's and don'ts of the Inquisitor.
So just to clarify, I've just looked up a picture of him and I still don't remember him. I might have to rewatch this episode.
It's a very good episode. It's episode 2 of series 5.
So just to clarify, he shoots a beam at them, which if it hits them, it freezes them in time. And then once frozen them, he's able to delete them from existence, essentially.
You're probably wondering how Crichton and Lister managed to get around that.
Well, no, I was just wondering if I actually got it correct.
Yes. Erase. Oh no.
So yeah, he has to. Once they're frozen, he doesn't have to do anything. He can then just erase them from time
with his gauntlet. I mean, when you're like thinking of really cool characters, you're like, oh man, the Inquisitor is really fucking cool. Then you look them up, you're like, bloody hell, they're a bit op. Then you're like, well, too late now. That was what happened here.
Okay. So, but essentially, he just needs to get one hit. You've brought a new Voldemort in, haven't you?
Voldemort lost. Lost. He lost. And the Inquisitor lost to Lister and Crichton.
Yeah, how was he defeated in Red Dwarf?
Crichton from the future comes back in time with the time gauntlet.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. And as a distraction, while the Inquisitor is killing him, they manage to cut off his arm and get the time gauntlet. And then they use the time gauntlet to freeze the Inquisitor. And then they put the Inquisitor over a railing, over a really high drop, which by the record would have killed him if he fell. He's not impossible to kill. He just regenerates really quickly if he doesn't die, which is very different. And Lister saves him and gives him back the time gauntlet. He's like, well, now if you erase me from time, you'll die. And then the Inquisitor's like, well, actually, I'm quite alright. Because if I erase you, you never would have existed to bring danger to my life in the first place. And then Lister's like, oh yeah, shit. And then he goes to erase him, and then the energy vortex surrounds him, and he's like, what? And then Lister's like, ha ha ha, backwards gauntlet trick. And he got Crichton to reprogram the gauntlet to fire back upon himself, and he erases himself from history by accident.
Okay.
So yeah, that's how that works.
I mean, that's convoluted and wonderful.
It boils down to they get the gauntlet off him for a short period of time, and reprogram it so that when he uses it, it backfires upon himself, and then he uses it and it backfires upon himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the combatants all set up. I guess thing to do now is to find out where they're fighting. And the way we do that is we roll the die of death.
8.
So today, the fight is taking place in the sewers.
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 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles sewers?
If you want.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles there?
No.
That seems reasonable.
It's just sewers.
Just sewers. Right, let's see what the average dimension of sewers are.
What the sewer dimension?
Sewers! Blueprints. Because I don't think sewers are as big as people think they are, but maybe they are. I don't know. How big are sewers?
It probably depends on where you are, doesn't it?
Oh, almost certainly.
Basically, what I'm thinking is I've seen the film Ghostbusters 2, and I've seen the 1994 Spider-Man cartoon, and those are two things that influenced my childhood a lot. And they're both set in New York, and they both have sewers you can explore, thus sewers. Or if you want a more recent sewer example, in Left 4 Dead 2, you get in the sewers? Or is it 1? One of the Left 4 Deads, you get in the sewers? You know how sewers look. Like sewers, like movie sewers. There's like 2 paths on either side, and then like a stream of water in the middle. You know, the water's got way in it. There's probably some rats about. Sewers.
Go for like the tropey style sewers.
So what? Yeah, sewers. Sewers.
Yeah, but I mean, because I just read that like most real life sewers nowadays you can barely crawl through.
Really?
But that's boring. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, why would they make sewers big? They just
I
need
don't
to
know.
carry
For
shit
sewer
away.
adventures.
For
Yeah,
sewer
but
adventures.
there's a lot of shit in the world. You need big carrying tunnels.
Yeah, but like the tropey one is probably about what,
New York sewers.
2 to 3 meters wide, and will have a central channel of sewage, and
Yeah.
for some reason it will have a pedestrian walkway on either
On
side.
either side. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause it won't be a pedestrian walkway, but
But that's for the sewer workers, so they don't have to walk through the sewage. It makes sense.
yeah, it does. And then the tunnel will be round because everyone knows that circles are great.
Yeah.
They're probably not actually circular. They're probably slightly egg-shaped or oval for strength. But I'm not a civil engineer, so we won't get into my thinkings about that. We'll ask a civil engineer. I looked over to the right, but there isn't anyone there.
Wouldn't it have been really weird if there was a sewer engineer there?
Yeah, what do you reckon a sewer engineer's name is?
Clive.
I'm Clive, a civil engineer. I civilise sewers.
Well, that's good, because I wouldn't want an uncivilized sewer.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, all sewers are civilized by like almost definition because they step away. Remember the good old days? I mean, obviously, neither of us were alive back in the good old days.
When you just used to poo in a
Used to
bucket
chuck
and throw it
shit
out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Good old
Like,
days.
oh.
And then they were like, why are so many people dying of dysentery and all this shit? Oh, maybe it's all the fucking crap on the streets.
You know, you have to be really nice to nature, because if you make fun of nature, you'll die because you've been dysentery.
Jesus. Oh my god. I'm so sorry, trees of the world.
I'm really proud of myself for thinking of that joke.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that, by the way. I'm pretending to be sad for the sake of the tree that's looming at me.
Right. Like, the problem is now, though, I have to go to work in like an hour and a half, and feel like that's the most productive thing I'll do today. Is coming up with that joke. Anyway, sewers.
Right. Okay.
Oh my god. So Hit Girl's in the sewer because
Knows why.
she was chasing a bad guy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
She's probably interrogating him by waterboarding him with feces because I don't know, because she's a fucking badass.
Right. Okay. So the Inquisitor appears to judge that guy because if he judges Hit Girl, that's a different kind of kettle of fish. That's not what we're after here. It is an interesting conundrum as to could Hit Girl justify her existence. The answer is probably yes. But
she definitely believes she's doing good things because she's killing bad people.
Yeah, definitely. She's only 12, so she's done good. But if he turns up to question the other guy to do his judgment on him, and then after dealing with him, because he gets metaphysically transported, so the Inquisitor appears in the room, the sewer room, the tunnel sewer room, and beams the dude is being beat up by Hit Girl, and they suddenly disappear for a bit, and then there's an inquisition that we don't really know what happens in it and how long, and then a different body appears in front, and Hit Girl's like, "Hey, what the hell?" Or whatever she says.
The fuck?
Just the fuck? She doesn't sound like that, probably. Anyway, yeah, reappears with a new Burger Man because he got unnued, and a new you was himmed in his place.
Yes.
Hit Girl's like, "Da fuck," and then the Inquisitor is like, "I have inquisitioned this man. He was deemed unworthy. Now we must give this guy a chance to live." The new guy.
Okay. And then they'd be like, "Whoa, wait a minute. But you're the bully person. But you're the bully person." And then fighting will ensue. So how do you think the fight will start?
I think the Inquisitor would be all like, "Tremble at my name, for I am the Inquisitor." And would probably just go to bash her out of the way so he can carry on with his normal work. Just mean like a swift arm bash, swift arm. I'm assuming that's done pretty close in this.
Yeah,
this
probably.
Instance.
Okay, so she might be initially caught off guard and knocked down, but then she'd quickly sort of get back up and be like, "Oh man, I'm gonna beat the shit out of this guy." So they would engage in hand-to-hand combat, I guess. So, how good do you think the Inquisitor is at fighting?
I reckon. I mean, he was designed for a war, but he is imagine a Terminator.
Yeah.
But there's not the Terminator. You wouldn't say a Terminator is good at hand-to-hand combat, but because they don't have technique, but they do have strength and durability. So if I went up to a cow, isn't good at hand-to-hand combat, but if a cow wanted to push me out the way, my God, it's going to push me out the way. Not that I'm good at hand-to-hand combat. Whereas she does have skill, not strength. So we've got strength, not skill, versus skill, not strength. Hilarious. And if he's in close combat as well, he's not going to be able to do gauntletty time deletion business. It's kind of we'd just be trying to bash her out of the way. And if he did hit her, I mean, she's quite nimble. It would be quite a funking. And I don't mean that with a capital F. I mean that with a capital TH.
But I think because of Hit Girl's sort of skill levels, although she might have been hit by his initial hit, she would be able to fight back quite well. So I don't think he's going to be able to get more than one good hit on her.
Seems reasonable, because he'd probably just donk out of the way, and then but then what's she gonna do in a sewer?
Just punch him and stuff. I just think she'll engage in combat and just beat him up.
Punching and stuff. I don't think that's gonna be super effective.
I guess
it's gonna be using normal type moves on a steel type Pokemon.
Yeah, the problem is, I guess he's made of metal. And not to be confused with metal, but metal. So maybe.
Well, he's also part human. He's a bit of both.
Yeah, I guess so. But so yeah, actually, seeing that, she would try and retreat and shoot the human parts.
I don't know what part of him even is human, because I mean, and she's not gonna be able to tell which parts are human. He's in a giant cloak. He looks pretty badass. In the picture. But I can see a picture of him regrowing his hand, and there's definitely a skeleton in the middle of that. But he is definitely they're mostly mechanoids, but designed to use more human. But they are biomechanical, so they are definitely biomechanical. They're not all metal, and they're not all bio. They are.
Yeah, they're cyborgs.
Best of both worlds. Yeah.
Well, I still think she would try and retreat and shoot at him if he's not affected much by close combat.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Running down the sewer.
Yeah, so she'd do the whole running backwards, shooting, action hero looking cool thing.
It would look cool, but no one's there to witness it. Except that Crim.
Yeah.
Who got uncrimmed. He's like, what's going on?
Omnipotently via the podcast medium.
He would, take some bullets, but we've well established that he's able to take some bazookoids. So I have no doubt that he's able to take a couple of bullets and not be too pissed off by it. And he's just gonna bring up his gauntlet arm and try and raise beam. Fuck judging you, kid. You.
How good at aiming is he? How precise is he with his gauntlet? How dodgeable is the attack? Is what I'm getting at, really.
To say it's undodgeable is ludicrous because it isn't a homing missile. It's like a tractor beam almost. I don't know because I've only seen it used against a man lying on a bed. And as we all know, men lying on beds aren't the best at avoiding things.
No.
Except work.
Wow. Well, I think if we assume it is dodgeable, then Hit Girl would probably be able to dodge it unless he had done something to stop her first, because she's quick and nimble.
Yeah. It's a sewer. There's room to breathe.
Oh man, she could do especially where it's rounded walls and stuff. She can do a cool run up the wall and flip over the laser. And she wouldn't necessarily do that because it's a waste of time, but she could because she's cool.
Just don't waste your time. You'll get judged unworthy.
So she's probably you see, this is the thing actually. I reckon she'd dodge out the way, but in doing so, would probably end up in the water, the sewagey water.
Oh no!
And then that would mean that her guns wouldn't work because they'd be all wet and soggy.
The gun she has, something like an AK-47, is incredibly robust and resistant.
She has handguns and stuff usually.
Oh yeah, no, they're fucked. Not that I'm a gun expert or anything.
You get all wet and soggy and full of poo.
Yeah, do you work if you're wet, soggy, and full of poo?
Yes.
Damn.
But I am not a gun, and guns do not work when wet, soggy, and full of poo. So, as much as she wouldn't like to, I'd say this sort of brings Hit Girl back into the close combat. But maybe she'd get out one of her knives, be like, I'm going to try and do some stabbing.
Yeah, okay.
Stabbing and slashing.
As far as the Inquisitor is concerned, he is a one-trick pony with metal arms.
Yeah.
Not that ponies have arms, ponies have legs. But, he's just going to be trying to erase her from time with a gauntlet. So if she's going back into close, he's going to be trying to sweep her away to a point where he can then unsweep her away.
Yeah.
That made no sense.
I think it's the sort of thing, if he can get a good hit on her or do something to hold her still, he could then get her with the gauntlet.
Mm.
But while she's got sort of free movement, I think we have to allow for the fact that she's able enough to dodge.
Because the Inquisitor doesn't have any guns, and I don't remember there being any harmful. Obviously, his laser is harmful in the way that he then erases you from time. But I don't remember there being any intrinsically harmful lasers attached to the gun.
I guess it's whether or not he can overpower her with his strength and keep her. Because I think this is what this fight will boil down to, is whether or not he'll overpower her and be able to keep her still and then be like,
Bam,
erased from time.
Or she will be able to. What kind of knife does she have?
It's like a switchblade. It's
okay, so it's not going to cut through a cyborg's arm.
Not for example. Really, no. It would be a case of she'd just sort of wear it down with slashing at the fleshy bits, I guess. And
yeah, so it might puncture, but she wouldn't be able to use it to physically remove the arm from it.
Not easily.
Yeah, not in the time frame needed. Like if she had all day and he was unconscious, just lying there, she'd be like do 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 do. But in the midst of a sewer battle, that ain't happening. But yeah, so she's gone back into close quarters. She's gonna try giving some stabs and some stabs.
It's trying to see if she can find some of the fleshy bits.
Not incredibly effective, and she's probably going to take another sweeping blow somewhere to the face and go bashed somewhere. How good is she at like recoiling well? Actually, I mean, she's taken a lot of hits. She's been trained to take a lot of hits. She's probably quite good at being able to roll with the punches.
Probably, yeah. And all like under her clothes is like bulletproof material, so it's all like I guess quite good shock absorbing.
Yeah, a good roll with the punch.
Her knife, by the way, sorry, I've just found it, is a butterfly knife specifically.
I see. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's one of the ones where you go.
Yes. Yes, it is. That was why I said it's like a switch knife. Yeah. All right.
Shank.
You have to say shank or it doesn't hurt.
Yeah. Well, everyone knows that. Why do you think people say, "Oh, I'm going to shank ya"? It's because it won't hurt. They don't say that. Shank ya, and your mum. It's so stupid. Roll with a punch again. Probably managed to like jump out the way of another incoming orange erase beam. So then what's she going to do?
Would he be more likely to be affected by water if he's Natalie? Could she drown him, essentially?
I mean, I don't imagine that. My instinct would have said no, because I wouldn't have thought his primary, one of his primary organ functions was lungs. I would have thought that he's mainly mechanically powered rather than biologically powered. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're definitely more on the mechanical than the bio side. So I wouldn't have thought that drowning is a possibility, because drowning implies starvation through lack of oxygen.
I guess the same would apply to strangulation then, wouldn't it?
But I mean, she's not going to know that offhand.
No, I'm just trying to think of other tactics she might go for. But yeah, I think maybe then, because she's already wet, so she's already, I guess, slightly slowed down from being damp, and it makes your clothes heavy and stuff. So she might try and bait him into the water, so she could then maybe see if that slows him down a bit, and then maybe try and drown him or choke him out or something.
How is she going to bait him?
Maybe try and sort of stand on the edge of a path, then as he swings for her, if she can like dodge and like push him using his momentum or something.
But if she's just stood there, he's going to be like, I'm content with this scenario. Beep. Point and click. And I can see her methods, because she's used to people either who have a gun and trying to shoot them, and she'll probably win the gunfight if they're just a normal lackey, or people who are going to try and come at her and be like, "Lol, she's just a tiny kid." But I don't think the old dude is gonna do that.
No. What will he do?
He's just gonna point and click with a gauntlet, with a time gauntlet.
Potentially then, because if he hasn't been doing that at close range previously, because he's been going for punches, if she's ready for him to do a punchy thing and then he doesn't, that might just get her, because it's unexpected.
Yeah, because she's used to people, as I say, either running out, being like, "Lol, what a tiny pathetic kid, I can beat the shit out of that," or having a gunfight.
Yeah, so I think she might have just been erased from time.
Yeah, so you'd capture her and then you'd be like, insert famous quote here. You wouldn't say that. "You fool. You tried to face the Inquisitor. You will be erased." No. And then no one missed her because she was away from home.
Oh,
I mean, it's a pretty dark tone to end on, but I mean, it's factfully true.
Right in the feels. Take that, fucking light-hearted comedy podcast.
Hey, we talk about some serious things on this show, like I don't know, fences.
Like, how many bullies do you have to kill to stop bullying?
I mean, we haven't talked about that yet, but it might happen eventually.
Like, battle snakes.
Oh, battle snakes. Everyone loves a battle snake. Battle snake. But yeah, I just feel that Hit Girl definitely had the tenacity and probably the skill to defeat the Inquisitor, but she didn't have the equipment.
No. It was just the fact that he's not fleshy much. The fact that he's resistant to her attacks just somewhat scuppered her.
Yeah, because I mean, the Red Dwarf people managed to beat him, not through that, but by outwitting him, which is fine. But the whole way they managed to do it was by sawing his arm off. And yes, he can regenerate, but if you saw his arm off and get the gauntlet, happy days. But Hit Girl didn't have the right equipment or tools to get that advantage. Because at the end of the day, the Inquisitor is not the strongest. He is not the smartest. He is not the quickest. He is just a guy a rogue simulant who can heal, but he is equipped with an incredible weapon. You're right. When you said have you bought in another Voldemort, he is almost like another Voldemort. But yeah, unfortunately for Hit Girl, I just don't think she had the tools. If she had a much better sword or something at her disposal, she might have stood a chance with a unsuspecting strike. But unfortunately, that was not the case in the sewers. And her new self will be like, why the hell am I in the sewers?
Yeah, that is the end of her then. But at least there'll be a new her to take over.
Yeah, exactly. It's not the end of the world for her, just the end of the world for her.
Yeah, so the Inquisitor has earned his Mish. This is worthy of Mish. This Mish is worthy of me. While I get my clue ready, do you want to tell people about the related birthday present you got? Because it's fun.
Oh yeah, so recently it was my birthday. It was on Saturday, and my good friend here, Mr. Chris, Mr. CK, he came into my house wearing a t-shirt and shorts and other related items of clothing.
Yeah, I was dressed.
And I suspected nothing. He was dressed. He gave me a present in this lovely wrapping paper. That is the actual sound of the wrapping paper. I still have it. And I unwrapped it, and inside was a t-shirt that said Battle Snake on it, in reference to our excellent episode where we talked about Lord Voldemort's Battle Snake. As I saw this and then turned it around and went, oh, the logo's on the back too, that's pretty cool. He stripped off his first outer layer and revealed Accio the Moon on his t-shirt printed. So his wife also has Accio dead muggles.
It's good. So, although we kind of did, we had a joke in one episode about potentially making Mish Mash Mayhem t-shirts. The fact is that 3 of them now exist.
Yes, they do. They're all related to the same episode. Or the same character, at least. I'm not sure if they're all from the same episode.
They're all from episode 4. I mean, I think we said Battle Snake in episodes 2 and 3 as well. Certainly 3. But technically, yes. They do all come from episode 4. But to be fair, I think episode 4 is genuinely one of our best episodes.
Who was he against in that one? Was that against Drax?
It was. That was the episode where Voldemort died.
Oh, Voldemort. Yeah, you never thought I'd say that, did you? Right, you got a clue and all your jazz?
Yeah, I'm
dude.
Ready. So, this character is an NPC from a game.
Okay.
Yeah? So it's not even a playable character. It's an NPC.
I mean, that could be bloody anyone.
He's from a very popular series of games.
Is it Tingle?
It is not Tingle. Yeah, it's been a very popular series of games, I'd say, in the last sort of 6 or 7 years. Maybe a bit longer. And this particular character, I ended up using his armor in one of the games, and he is resembling of a certain food.
Oh, wait, what? Really? Surely it can't be. I mean, it could be.
Why? Why not?
Is it the Onion King?
No.
What was the Onion King?
No, but interestingly, that is the right food.
Okay, I don't know who the character is. I don't know who it is. Interesting. We'll have to wait and find out.
Yeah.
You too can discover with me.
Next episode.
Of
Mishmash Mayhem. If you want to get in contact with us, you can do so on our Twitter, and you can tweet us at podcastmmm, and you can tell us how you think that fight would have gone. Maybe you think Hit Girl should have won. Maybe you know an undenying weakness in the Inquisitor, and you're like, hey, but she could have done this. And we'll be like, oh man, totes. Or maybe you think the Inquisitor should have won, but in a different way. You can tell us that too. Also, if you want to suggest characters to be involved, you can do that by sending us a little tweet and being like, yo, I think this character would be cool in the fight, put it in. You can also suggest places you think the fights would take place. If you think a sewer was a rubbish place for a fight to take place, tell us where you wanted the fight to happen, and we can include your fan submissions. We have, as well, for people who don't have Twitter, coming soon in the next couple of days. In fact, I say that, but we are recording this 3 weeks before it will come out, so I guaranteed by the time this comes out, we will also have an email address. You can now email us.
Hooray!
I know, right? Hooray, like shooting a grunt in the head.
Yay!
So you can now email us at podcastmmm@tinkertailorsoldiersponge.com, because, as that email suggests, we are part of the TTSS Productions, which can be found at tinkertailorsoldiersponge.com, where there's blogs and podcasts aplenty.
It's fun for everyone.
Right? Including the politics podcast, Unparliamentary Language, that will teach you all about politics.
I believe they're actually recording one right now.
And they do their recordings live on Discord, don't they? So you can just like join in.
Yeah, and you can be like, hey, they're also recording, but this comes out later.
Yeah, but I mean, you can listen to theirs live while you record it and sort of send them the messages. Yeah, I think that's everything. Anything else you want to say before we go? A random phrase have you got for us today?
I am an evil lemon.
Okay, well, I best get a ponycorn to stop you.
Damn right I will. Oh, my face! I love that game.
It is really good.
It's the best game I've made.
Whoa, James the Zebra. James the Zebra is great.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, it's not the best game. Oh my god, the site still exists.
Which one, the ponycorn or James the Zebra?
Very cool one.
That's cool. Anyway, bye.
Bye!